All right, Wilson, let's get the day started, shall we? Downtown Billings, 49 degrees out there. Yes, the days are getting shorter. It's 6:28. And here's a look at First News. It's fair, it's accurate, you get the damn truth. Well, we're only 3 weeks from Election Day. Donald Trump still canvassing the country. Town hall in Philly last night. He was twice interrupted by medical emergencies that were in the room. So whenever that happens, they blast some music out. YMCA, stuff like that. Lasted for more than 40 minutes until they were able to take care of the medical emergencies. But the Trump crowds are not dwindling as the excitement for the election continues to gain momentum. Democrat vice presidential pick Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they're going to unveil plans to improve the lives now of rural voters. They're trying to cut into President Donald Trump's support. The Harris-Walz plan that the Minnesota governor will announce today includes a focus on improving rural health care, and they want to recruit 10,000 new healthcare professionals in rural and tribal areas. And they're going to offer them scholarships, loan forgiveness, and new grant programs for 10,000 people out there. Folks, they are doling out checks and money right and left. Housing money, down payments for homes, all kinds of billions of dollars worth of spending that all you have to do is vote for them, and in return, you'll get a check. Relations between India and Canada right now are at a low point. In fact, so low, who would have thought? The countries are expelling each other's top diplomats over a dispute about the killing of an activist in Canada from India. Canada said it had identified India's top diplomat in the country as a person of interest in an assassination plot and expelled him and 5 others. India's rejected the accusations as absurd, and so they've pulled them out anyway. The latest in escalating tension between India and Canada. In the meantime, the cleanup still continues down in the south and southeast from the hurricanes. Down in Florida, they're doing great work. Governor Ron DeSantis there had everything prepared. They're dwindling down the numbers of people without power. It's below 500,000 now in just 5 days. North Carolina, that's a different animal, where federal disaster workers and federal agencies failed the people there. The response from FEMA and others was awful. They're still going door to door down there in North Carolina Sheriff's Office trying to find people that still have not been contacted with. Their FEMA people are trying to work now in the Lake Lure and Chimney Rock areas. That's in the North Carolina mountains. Seeing some looting going on there, some problems as well, because the response has been so slow by the Harris-Biden administration. Officials said federal disaster workers paused and changed some of their efforts in North Carolina, including door-to-door visits after receiving threats. That's right. People were so upset with the response by the Biden-Harris administration. Now they're threatening FEMA workers that are just starting to get into their areas. And in the meantime, the world's a wreck. South Korea and North Korea. They said North Korea blew up some Korean roads the other day. Action came as the rivals are exchanging threats of destruction amid rising animosities over North Korea's claim that South Korea flew drones over their capital. The road's demolition is a display of North Korea's growing loathing of South Korea's government. South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff gave no detail about the demolition of those roads Tuesday. South Korea's military said it's bolstering now their readiness and surveillance posture in coordination with the United States, as the Harris-Biden administration has paid virtually no attention to Kim Jong-un and North Korea over the last almost now 4 years. 10 times as many migrants have died in New Mexico near the U.S.-Mexico border in each of the last 2 years compared to the 5 previous. Why? Smuggling by gangs and these coyotes trying to bring people into the United States because of the lax border policies that we have. They're finding they're dehydrated. They're finding they're malnourished. Most of these deaths are happening in the hot desert, canyons, mountain areas west of El Paso. During the first 8 months of 2024, They found the bodies of 108 of these that have been brought into New Mexico by cartels that have died, and they dumped them on the sides of the road in New Mexico. The Harris-Biden administration is deploying your sons and daughters now to Israel with terminal high-altitude area defense missiles. 100 soldiers will be sent there to help operate them. The top two Army leaders said Monday it will add to more potential delays in modernizing their missile defense system if they don't send them there. Lloyd Austin, your defense secretary, said they've approved it. Biden and Harris approved it, sending your sons and daughters in harm's way there now in the Middle East as tensions escalate. Conservative politicians in states like Oklahoma, Texas, and Tennessee, they're questioning whether these illegal immigrants should have the right to our public education dollars. Advocates fear it could figure more prominently into the national agenda. For decades, children of families living in the country illegally have attended our public schools, and that was all based on a Supreme Court decision from 1982. Now they're challenging it again. States are going broke trying to take care of all the needs of all of the illegal immigrants that have snuck into the country over the last years, and they can only afford so much. The Nobel Memorial Prize in Economics was awarded to 3 U.S.-based academics who studied why some countries are rich and why some are poor. And they documented that they believe a freer, open society, you're more likely to prosper. Hello? America set that precedent 200 years ago about freedoms, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences said their work demonstrates the importance of societal institutions when it comes to boosting countries' prosperities. And so they win a prize, and they'll split $1 million. People in the news today, new wave of lawsuits accusing Sean Diddy Combs of raping men and women and also molesting young boys. 6 lawsuits filed Monday against him in federal court of Manhattan, filed anonymously by 2 women and 4 different men. Part of what their lawyer said is now a group of more than 100 alleged victims at the hands of Sean Diddy Combs. Lilly Ledbetter, former Alabama factory manager whose lawsuit against her employer made her an icon of the equal pay movement, led to landmark discrimination legislation, has died at age 86. Ledbetter's lawsuit against Goodyear Tire and Rubber ultimately failed when the Supreme Court ruled against her. 2 years later, Barack Obama, though, signed into law the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, which strengthens the rights of workers to sue against pay discrimination. And now look at what's happened. All the advances of Title IX and protecting women in sports and other things. And now they're letting men compete with women, setting that back years and years. There was a Russian man that was rescued at sea yesterday, survived 2 months in an inflatable boat that lost an engine. His brother and his nephew died. The man was rescued by a fishing vessel off the Kamchatka Peninsula. Russian news reports the survivor was 46 years old, Mikhail Pinchkin, who in early August set out on a journey to watch whales in the sea there with his brother and nephew. Their bodies were reportedly found in the boat when the fishing rescue happened yesterday. They still don't know how he managed to survive and how his brother and nephew died. But when he was found yesterday, he weighed only 110 pounds, lost half of his body weight while he was floating at sea for 2 months. Bath & Body Works, they're in the news again today. They're apologizing, for selling a candle that had packaging that some people said looked like Ku Klux Klan hoods. It was a 3-wick candle, briefly appeared on their website. Then Bath & Body Works got attention to it, and they pulled it down off of their website because somebody, it's like looking at a cloud, how some people see some images and some people can't see it.
Right.
Some people complain that it looks like a Ku Klux Klan hood. So, okay, great, whatever. So they took it down, and you can't buy that candle anymore. World shares are mixed so far this morning. Hong Kong's benchmark is down. U.S. futures edging a little higher. Oil prices were down today, about $3 a barrel. In fact, Price of crude dropped $3.73 at the opening bell this morning for the market for crude, down to $70.10 a barrel. Stock markets yesterday rallied here in the United States. The S&P 500 up 0.8 of a point. Dow yesterday, it gained 0.5 of a point, 201 points, closed over 43,000. The NASDAQ was up almost a point at 18,000. Bank of America, Johnson & Johnson, United Health Group, will be the latest to report results coming in this week. Also, United Airlines, Netflix, American Express, Procter & Gamble, all will report their profits before the week is out. It's fall across the country, and in New England, the nights are cool, and it looks like the leaves now are at their peak, brilliant hues of red, orange, and bronze. It's leaf-seeking season for tourists in many places, Ohio, Florida, all through New England. Flocking there, scenic train rides, bus tours, all to soak in the visual splendor that fall brings with all the hardwood trees, maples and oaks that all turn their leaves color. It's a big tourist season up there. They always get a lot of residual in Maine and others from the tourists that head up there to seek out the leaves, but it's peaking now in New England. Oh, and a Minnesota horticulture teacher remains the reigning champ in the annual pumpkin weighing contest in Northern California. Now has won the top prize for 4 years in a row. Travis Geinger from Minnesota beat his closest competitor by 6 pounds. Victory at the 51st World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off. It takes place at Half Moon Bay, that's south of San Francisco. His winning pumpkin, 2,471 pounds. Now, he set the new world record last year when his pumpkin weighed 2,700 pounds, so this one's like 300 pounds lighter, and focuses on having healthy soil, well-fed plants. A cold fall and record-breaking rain, they said, impacted the pumpkin's growth. But they drove his pumpkin for 35 hours to California. The next stop will be a team of professional carvers. They're going to do a 3D carve on his pumpkin on it at a Halloween event. But over a ton, 2,471 pounds.
So see, by comparison, you dealing with your flowers, that's not so bad.
Yeah. Plus, if you want, folks, he has some extra zucchini and cucumbers that he will pass out to whoever wants them. Cat Country News Time is 6:43. Sports and weather next.
In sports, I don't really follow the NBA, but I see that their season starts next week, and Kawhi Leonard has been ruled out for the remainder of the Clippers preseason. Got some swelling, some inflammation on his knee. He had surgery on it last year. He missed 2 of the 6 playoff games when they get knocked out. He missed a bunch of games at the end of the year. And I thought, why in the world would a guy like that keep playing until I checked the salary page? $42.49 million this year. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot.
Yeah, there you go. Nice day today and tomorrow. A lot of sunshine, beautiful fall weather, 78 today, 80s tomorrow. Then a new system moves in Thursday with now up to about an 80% chance of rain. And Thursday's high only 52. So going to cool off a little bit. Friday, 50. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're back to the 60s again. So a little rain be great for the fall, for the fires, for everybody out there. It's 49 right now. It's 6:44, and that's what's happening. Mark and Paul here together. Thanks for tuning into the Cat, the Wilson Pickett.